Okay, dude, this is something that you absolutely fucking have to get familiar with for you to literally skyrocket your self-improvement journey. But for you to actually understand what we're gonna talk about today, let's start off with a story. So a couple of days ago, me and my friend were at the gym and we were having a very deep conversation just about life in general, right? We're talking about school, what we're going to do after school, like our friendships, what we're doing at home, all that type of shit. And I really got that guy to open up to me. He started to share with me some very fucking deep stories from his life that I would never even expect to learn from that person. And you can probably tell by the way I speak in my videos that I love to communicate. I'm that type of motherfucker who finds it really hard to shut up, alright? I just love speaking, right? I'm insanely extroverted. I don't have that many close friends, but like I'm insanely extroverted, right? I love speaking to people. I love giving advice. So when I was speaking to that guy, I immediately wanted to give him advice during the story he was telling me. But do you know that feeling of when you're telling a story to somebody and you can see that the other person is like, he's genuinely interested. He's genuinely intrigued. You can tell he's conscious and he's actually listening to you and he's praising you for the story you're telling. That's a fucking amazing feeling, right? I'm pretty sure you're familiar with that feeling of when you're talking to somebody and you see that they're genuinely intrigued into the conversation. Why not spread that good feeling to other people and make the whole conversation about them? Because the mistake most people make is they make the whole conversation about themselves. The number one thing they focus on is the story that they're telling, what they're talking about, but that's not a pleasant type of person to be around, right? And of course I found that the hard way, right? Every time I would see my friends talk about something at school, right? I would just blindly interrupt them and just start speaking about some random fucking thing that I wanted to talk about. I didn't want to join their conversation. I wanted to start my own conversation by joining them. No, that's not how it works. This is something that I learned from this book ages ago. And as soon as I had that conversation with my friend from the beginning of the story, it's like it fucking clicked. It fucking clicked. Suddenly, I reminded myself about one of the first chapters from this book, which is to speak less and make the conversation about the other person. Suddenly, I randomly reminded myself about it, and I chose to shut up and listen to my friend. And that's how I got him to really fucking open up about his deep life stories. And it's an amazing fucking thing, honestly. The way you get people to genuinely fall in love with you. Okay, I didn't mean it that way. The way you get people to genuinely like you and appreciate you as a person and make you want to talk to them more. The way you make people want to talk to you more is you always make the conversation about them. Unless they ask you a direct question, which of course requires you to actually answer it properly, try to make the conversation about the other person, because that always makes them feel good. The more questions you ask them about the story he's telling, the more he's intrigued, the more you're letting the guy keep talking. The more you let him keep talking. When somebody's telling you a story from his personal life, one of the best few things you can do is to ask more questions about it. Ask him more questions about the story so that he's the one who keeps talking. He's giving you information, because most of the times from these stories that people are telling you can actually take out a lot of fucking value without even you knowing it. Sometimes I learn things from people's stories without them even meaning to teach me something. Sometimes that guy, any guy really, sometimes any person who's talking to me can tell me a story about something, and as I'm listening to it, it starts to put up new ideas into my mind, and that's how I get to learn new experiences. I said that one thing in my previous video, which I really like. In that one conversation I had with that friend, I learned more than I had learned in the past 2 weeks of school. I'm being dead ass serious right now, right? If you can just shut up and listen to what other people have to say, it can make a drastic fucking difference. It can make a drastic fucking difference. Most guys, they either are insanely introverted, where they pretty much say nothing, or they're far super, how do I say this? Over energetic, where they speak a lot, but it's just fucking yapping. It's bullshit, right? They just want to make a whole conversation about them. Don't do that. I'm telling you this from experience, brother. The best thing you can do when you're speaking to somebody, make it about the other person. Make the whole conversation about them, and you will see how fucking easy suddenly it is to run conversations with other people. Literally, the best conversation starter with literally fucking anybody, ask them a question. It's such a universal answer I can give, but it makes any type of cold approaching, any type of speaking to a new person 10 times easier. As soon as you look at that person that you want to talk to, You need to pick up on something that's actually worth asking. You know, if you see a big guy at the gym, like ask him, I don't fucking know, how did you get so big? How long have you been lifting for? If you see a cute girl, like literally fucking anywhere, ask her, you get where I'm going with this, right? It becomes so fucking easy, but because by asking them a question, you immediately get them to like open up about something. And if they respond with like a shallow answer, like, yes, no, maybe, I've been doing something for like this many years. Ask another question. Ask another question. Really, really dial into that person. Now, of course, you don't want to be pushing, right? You don't want to be pushing. You don't want it to be too uncomfortable. But the easiest fucking way to start a conversation with literally anybody, the easiest way to keep a conversation afloat with anybody, make it about the other person. Always make it about the other person. Now, as I said, unless they actually want to get some information out of you, and of course, it's good to be a speaker right now, right? Right now, this is what you're doing right now. What you're doing right now is you're being quiet and you're listening. Unless you're not putting whole attention into this video. If so, then like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, actually, focus, bitch. Focus on what I'm telling you, because this can genuinely change your fucking life. The way you make conversations, literally any conversations, 10 times easier to manage. Use the principle I just taught you from this book. Of course, I'm not plugging you anything, but this book as a whole, this is the holy grail of socializing, of social skills, of just being a better human being. This book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's a very popular, it's a very mainstream book when it comes down to self-improvement, but it's the type of mainstream book that actually gives you like a shit ton of value from it. Honestly, like reading is so fucking underrated nowadays. I've seen motherfuckers on the internet trying to argue that reading is a waste of time. It takes too long. I can watch something on the internet and get an equal amount of value. You will never get an equal amount of value from watching a video than it is from reading. Reading is a little bit more difficult, right? It requires a little bit more focus. But because it requires a little bit more focus, you're going to be far less distracted while doing it. Once you actually get in the flow of reading and you get consistent with the habit of reading books, it's like, it's not hard at all. It's not hard at all. And the value you gain from these books, it's insane, my friend. It is insane, my friend. Another lesson I can give you from this book, this is like a thing on the side, but you can't teach somebody anything. You can only help him find it within himself. That's exactly what I'm doing with my videos, right? I'm only giving you, my videos kind of like this formula, right? I always start off with a story, and after I tell you the story, I explain what I did in that story so that you can implement this stuff into your life. You need to find like the pattern within the story so that it starts clicking into your head. You're the one who needs to make it click into your head, right? I'm only explaining something to you, but you're the one who actually needs to understand it, right? I don't know why I've gone off topic for a little bit, but yeah, this is the holy grail of self-improvement. Yay! And this is all you need to know, honestly. If you want to hang around an amazing community of like-minded people who also have like the masculine drive to grow and become like the best fucking possible versions of themselves, join my Discord server. I'm not some fake god behind the screen, right? Neither do I sell a product. I'm just a kid who wants to help people out. And I'm pretty sure that me and my crew definitely have the things required for you to develop and become a better person overall, right? So you can like, you can comment, you can sub, you can do all these things if you want to. I'm not gonna force you to do anything. Just do whatever you think is right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you in the next one, brother. Take care.